and miserable throughout much of the Midwest, but don't fear, we've got football to perk up our spirits as we join you from Paycor Stadium in Cincinnati, Ohio. Today, no waiting around. We jump right into an AFC North battle in Week 1 between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cincinnati Bengals. We are set to go. Evan McPherson to do the honors, and we are underway from Cincinnati. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. Looking to throw right away. Pickett. And this is incomplete. Very lucky to get that one back. That nearly picked. It's second down now.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes. But the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
Oh, he's got a little daylight. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They run again with Harris. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Here's Pickett. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Trey Hendrickson showing off his pass rush repertoire that time. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility to ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles, usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced, you're wanting a little bit of everything out of all of your guys. But let's just go ahead and break it down and make it simple. The guy who's the right defensive end versus a right-handed quarterback, that's the blind side. He's going after the quarterback. He's going to put him on the ground.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. On the return, it's White. 39 yards on the punt, just 2 on the return. And the Bengals will have a 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory.
Here we go.
Burrow and the Bengals with a 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Man open, that's Jamar Chase complete. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
Well, partner, that's the start that you want right there. And you know he spent the entire offseason throwing hundreds, I'd probably say thousands of passes, getting ready for that moment. The first throw of the new season. He's dreamed about it, thought about it, and now it's out of the way.
Yeah, 1 for 1, a lot more to go. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber who runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
Burrow going to fake to Mixon and now look to throw. And it's hauled in by Austin Hooper. And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 42. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another 1st.
Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? Force a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that.
Like that?
Well, yeah, moving it very, very well. Looks like the defense on their heels a little bit. If you put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right. That's a... And Burrow going to be hit and taken down. They got him. Alex Highsmith making the nice play and getting the sack.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape.
Here we go.
It didn't exist.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. They're looking for Higgins, but it is intercepted. Picked off by Akello Witherspoon. And the Steelers are going to take possession of the football.
Okay, partner, no surprise to you. I'm going to look at this from the defensive perspective. In the rain, you have to be more cautious trying to cover passing routes. Why? The offense knows where they're going with the football. The receiver knows the route he's going to run. You have to make sure you keep your footing underneath you.
Now he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Pickett will look to throw it here. Oh, he still makes a catch, even though it was tapped by the linebacker. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9.
But when you go on the road, you're hoping to make plays that will take the crowd out of the game. I think that's a pretty good example right there.
Yeah, a break like that never hurts, especially in the first quarter. Maybe help to set the tone a little bit.
Could settle them down, get them into the game a little bit easier without that crowd really being against them.
And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. A great effort there. His first NFL reception goes for 6. And the Steelers use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. Taken at the goal line. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. The Bengals drive about to get going. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others. Where they think they have an advantage, dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
I think Cameron Hayward's ability to take on blocks, hold the point of attack, and get upfield serves him very, very well. What a nice play there.
Yeah, he can take on blocks because he's built like a block. So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Burrow's throw caught by Higgins. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. A gain there of 21 yards.
And that's how you shake off the interception you threw on the opening drive, come back and throw another strike and gain nice yardage. And I give credit to 2 people on this one. Here we go. The man throwing the ball and the person calling the plays. They're not shutting him down early in this game.
Mixon with a first down carry. And he is going to wind up losing yardage here, as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play.
Here we go.
2nd and 11.
Here we go. 11, 11, 11.
Here's Burrow. And that's It's going to be caught. T. Higgins. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. A big play there on the catch and run. 38 yards.
But he reminded us that he was a 1,000-yard receiver a year ago as he starts off week 1 picking up right where he left off. He told us at the end of the preseason he was primed for a big year. He just gave us excellent evidence of his belief.
And he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals. Joe Mixon, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Bengals are an extra point away now from moving out in front. Footing always a concern, but the extra points have been good. And they take the lead here at 7-6. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And, Charles, nothing like squaring off with a division opponent, a division rival in Week 1. Do you like that they are matching up this early, or would you prefer a game like this be a few weeks down the road?
I actually like the early matchup for a few reasons, Brandon. First of all, it allows you to see that in the entire offseason and know, hey, right out of the gate, we're playing a division game. Second part is it spreads them out a little bit. If you just have them all bunched up at the end of the year, that's not as much fun watching teams try to survive that gauntlet when you do have injuries down the stretch. And last but not least, let's face it, we're TV people. What a great game to sell right out of the gate.
And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. They're backed up here. Tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. Throwing on 3rd down. Here's Pickett. Able to find his man. It's Pickens. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. Excellent play there on 3rd down. Give him 25 yards.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
A good run, got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. Harris running straight ahead. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
And Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does. It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL. And all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key 1st downs and big runs.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. To the air on 1st down with Pickett. And he fires one that's intercepted. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 for Bengals TV. It just appeared there that the defense, they had that read from the moment the ball was snapped. And not only did they get the interception, add a nice return on top of it, all the way into the end zone for a defensive touchdown.
Yeah, and the guy made the play. He gets the points, but it really was a group effort, wasn't it? How about the coaches? They've got to be so excited. All the preparation time in the film room, it translated into a big play that put points on the board for their team.
From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
Again, it's Harris on second down. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
On third down, here's Harris. And he showed a nice little juke, but then the window quickly closed. It'll be a gain of 5, and the punt team will now come out on fourth down.
So many things go into making a good play on defense. In this situation, just not being blown out of the way was a big start, and then a nice tackle to finish things off.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. On fourth down, here's Presley Harvin on to punt. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Bengals will take over here first and 10. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. They're starting to pull away with this one. Early on that first quarter, they didn't look so great offensively. What has changed?
Sometimes it's just a matter of doing what you plan to do better. Sometimes you just put that all together and you execute. Other times it's just a simple adjustment in your game plan, finding a spot that maybe was a little weaker than maybe you thought, and going to that. So many different things, so many different ways, but right now, you got to like what they're doing. They have put distance between themselves and their opponent.
Looking to add on here in the second quarter. This one hauled in. Again, it's Hooper. Give him 17 and a Cincinnati first down.
Good, strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
A draw play for Mixon. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Now on second and 13. Burrow. And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. They're passing here, Joe Burrow. That's going to be caught along the sideline, and what a job of keeping his feet in bounds. They say that's a catch. A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down in bounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
Stop short of the 25. The second effort couldn't free him. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now it's Burrow. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Jamar Chase, the intended receiver, and it'll bring up third down. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
Here we go.
Now play number 8 on this drive, and they need 9 yards to pick up the first on third.
11 MT tape. 11 MT tape.
Now it's Burrow. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. And the Steelers are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Now, I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
It'll be a gain of 5, and it's second down. This time they'll just keep this on the ground. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. This offense set to begin the third quarter, and Charles, if they had a checklist of things they wanted to accomplish in the first half, certainly at the top of that list would be having the lead, and they've got that here.
That's always the most important box to check, isn't it? But also, they've had some success in their passing game, so probably an empty box establishing the run. They're on pace for fewer than 100 yards in this one, so now they want to make sure that they get that going so they truly have a control in this ball game, and down the stretch, being able to be balanced, either throw it or run it, and try and win this ball game.
A first down there on a pickup of 25. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe...
And a big loss here as he's taken down. T.J. Watt, the All-Pro, in there to take him down.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a second and very long. And able to use a stiff arm for a little bit of leverage before he's taken down. A pretty good gain.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Here we go, here we go.
The Steelers now in the nickel here on third down.
11, 11, 11.
Burrow looking to pass. And the throw there going to be incomplete. So good work there on the defensive side for the first drive of the second half.
Yeah, and until their offense can get into rhythm, their defensive players and staff have got to say to themselves, we've got to make it work. We've got to stand in here and make sure nothing else happens until our guys start moving the ball.
And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
And he's going to get this from the 6 out to the 12. A pickup of 6 as they double their workspace.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. On the delay, here's Harris. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. From the gun on 3rd down, Pickett. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call. Okay, so roughing the passer, I've got to imagine that's the last thing you want to see week 1 as your quarterback taking an unnecessary hit.
I think you are exactly right about that. You hate it any week, but boy, are you on target. This is a unit that's depending on him to take him through 17 games, so you definitely can't let him get hurt right now.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Now it's the backup Tannehill. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked off by Von Bell. And the Bengals are going to take possession of the football. Well, look, we're watching a quarterback here that's obviously been around for a long time. That's a throw he wishes he had back.
He certainly does, but as you well know, this is a guy that's used to taking a few chances, used to fitting it into tight windows. These are throws that he's made before. Didn't happen to get it completed in this case.
And he's going to be brought down at about the 16. Here we go. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Burrow going to give this to Mixon. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Joe Mixon, already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Bengals are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And the lead is up to 15 now. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They wind up losing a couple there, so they go behind the original line of scrimmage, and now 3rd and 11 coming up.
You got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
Pickett back to throw. And now Burrow going to be intercepted yet again. Picked off by the linebacker, Joe Schobert. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 for a Bengals TD. So call off the pick 6.
Everything looked right. It looked like it was in their favor. Returned it for a touchdown, as you just described. But instead, the penalty for interference nullifies everything.
They hand this off to Harris. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. Second down.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
Harris going to get it again on second down. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
Looking to throw, Pickett. Over the middle, complete. That's Andrews. And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. We are through three quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. On 1st and 10, it's Pickett. I'm not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
Give it big credit for his coverage right there, because when he saw the route break deep, he stayed in position to prevent a completion while avoiding any risk of a flag.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. On the draw, it's Harris. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a third down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
The offense on third down, they've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 10. Now here's another carry for Harris. It's a 6-yard gain, and it leaves them looking at a 4th down.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Pickett, 4th down, desperation time. He'll get this to his tight end. That's Pat Freiermuth. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. So the 4th down conversion sets him up with this. 1st and 10 at the 40. Pickett sets up play action. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
Good yardage on the completion there. When they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score, because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
And this time they were waiting for him, as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense is pretty vocal about his desire to take this running back out of his game. And all that pregame wolfing has turned into results.
On 2nd and 11 now. Pickett. Pass over the middle, tipped, but he still brings it in. And in for the Steelers, touchdown. Pat Freiermuth. A 22-yard touchdown grab. And the Steelers are able to cut into that deficit. And it's no good. It has not been his day. That's the 2nd extra point he's missed so far. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. And no return here for White. It'll be a touchback. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball. Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the fourth quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers. Fourth quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense, and this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Now, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it, and let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space.
And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Burrow will throw. It's caught over the middle. Hooper. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down. Stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. Down to about the 32.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Martin, I think he's got to be careful as he continues to try to extend plays because he's already been intercepted in this game. And the coverage, they continue to challenge all of his receivers downfield.
They need to get this to the 24 on 3rd down. Now Burrow. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Sometimes the game is pretty simple. Put a few extra defensive backs on the field, give them nowhere to throw the football, force the incompletion, and get off the field on 3rd down.
And that is no good. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. With the football changing hands here as this offense takes the field. Charles, they'd be fine with more of the same on this upcoming drive. Last time out, they found the end zone for 6.
And they're certainly hoping for more of the same, but the game plan, I doubt it'll just be a carbon copy of the last drive because I think this offense is ready to break out some new wrinkles and try some new things that might be hidden in their playbook. They want to use that confidence to its advantage while also keeping the defense from anticipating what's up next.
Pickett to throw. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. And the Bengals are going to take possession of the football. Well, obviously, Charles, this stage of the game, down 2 scores, they had to put the football in the air. Unfortunately, it gets picked off.
And the criticism comes easily in situations like this, but you just laid it out. Look where they are on the scoreboard. Look at where the clock is in the game. He has to take a chance here and try and get the ball downfield to his receivers.
And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Tyler Boyd, 42 yards. And the Bengals are closing in on a winning start to the year as they extend their 4th quarter lead. I think all teams probably like seeing that schedule for the first time, looking at week 1. Oh, good, we're at home. This is why you want to be home in week 1. They're looking sharp.
And I agree with you totally. That's what you want. But there carries a little extra pressure with that as well because you and I both know protecting the home field.
And it'll be intercepted. Levi Wallace with a pick.
Well, as most teams do in their 2-point attempt, they pass the ball. Instead, it gets intercepted. And remember, if you pick it off, you get a chance to take it all the way back, get 2 points yourself, right?
Yeah, not the case there, but that's why you got to be really careful with those throws, especially to the outside. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Here's Pickett. And that is incomplete.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
Jet sweep. Here's Pickens with it. And he is going to lose yardage here. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage and didn't get it back.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Mike Hilton. Well, we knew this was going to be a tall order anyway, down 2 scores with this little time remaining, but that interception puts it in to any hopes that they have.
All right, partner, work with me here, because obviously scoring a touchdown, getting the onside kick, then going down, scoring again, well, that's asking a lot.
And now Burrow going to be intercepted yet again. Levi Wallace with a pick. And the Steelers will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line. Well, in all likelihood, this ball game's still over. I mean, even with the interception, 2-score game, they need a miracle.
Curious decision to even throw the ball in that situation, but maybe they saw a stacked line of scrimmage and said, hey, it's better to try and throw than to try and run against it. In any event, I think you're exactly right. Now, the other team can pad their stats, but I don't think they're going to win.
Yeah, but still, don't change the channel just yet. Now Pickett. He's got his tight end Freiermuth over the middle. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go in the game. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And the Bengals are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line. Well, time, I mean, certainly not on their side offensively. They had to take some chances, but that interception will further hinder their already slim chance at victory.
Yeah, and you're talking about time not on their side, but it certainly is on the defensive side, and they understood that. They knew they had to press it a little bit, and they planned accordingly, and what a benefit for them, able to pick that one off and hopefully put this game away.
Come on, ready?
That one looks like he'll throw here. That's going to be brought in by Higgins. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. Now the Bengals going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break.
On 1, ready?
Altogether, a pretty shaky start to the year for this defense as they defend another 1st and 10. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. And this one is incomplete.
After what they faced during this game, where they've given up a ton of yards downfield, that has to be a measure of revenge right there for the secondary. They've been shredded throughout the game and finally forced an incompletion.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing again, it's Burrow. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
That could have been a huge play, but give the defender credit. Stayed calm, stayed collected, and kept himself in a position to make a play on the ball without a penalty.
Here we go, here we go.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10.
11.
Here's Burrow. And his pass is intercepted for the foot. Now he's hit on the return. It's a loose football. This was not just the opener of a brand new season, but this was a division game here in Week 1. And to come through with a 1-0 start against a division opponent gives you a little something extra heading forward for the rest of the season.
Yeah, let's pile it all into one game, right? Opening the season, and you open within the division. You knew the motivation was going to be there on both sidelines. One just executed better and earned the win.
So for the Bengals, that'll be a happy locker room as they start this season 1-0. And they'll get to stay put for a few days as they'll host the Dallas Cowboys next.